Eastern Republic of Congo. Since then, over 32,000 people have been displaced and are being hosted in Uganda. Most of them are settled in gazetted refugee camps, while a handful of others declined taking refuge in the camps and opted to remain in the streets and on the verandas of buildings along the Uganda-DRC border with the hopes of returning back to Congo. Their dreams have now come true as M23 rebels revisited their decision to lock them out and now reopened the border to allow them a return home. This was confirmed by the M23 rebel mouthpiece Major Willy Ngoma.
Ile coalition wamekuja shambulia wangome zetu kila wakati, na kila wakati kama wanakuja sisi tunajibu mapigo peke yake, sababu sisi tunapenda amani, tunapenda tukaa pamoja, tuzungumuze. Sisi wote ni Wakongomani, inabidi tutafute peace. Amani iko vizuri sana, tutabalinda vizuri sana. Adui anakimbia mbali, tunamfuata mbali kabisa ili asikue kabisa haribishe amani ya raia yetu. Raia yetu gisi tunafungula boda leo tarehe 20, waingie, waende kikaa, watoto warudi shuleni, wasome vizuri, maneno yote wafanye business yao, maneno yote iendelee vizuri sana. Hii ndio raia yetu, ule ni baba yetu, mama yetu, watoto yetu wasome.
This Tuesday, a number of refugees were seen trekking back to Congo across the Bunagana border, while others still remain skeptical about the return as they look on helpless. The Ugandan authorities in Kisoro welcomed the move, saying it was risky to continue hosting the refugees in ungazetted areas within Bunagana on Ugandan side.
So now that they are allowed to go back to their homes, we welcome that news. It's a very good gesture, because for us under the law, if a person is not in a refugee camp like Nyakabande, he's supposed to go back to his country of origin. Bunagana is not an area where people are supposed to stay. So if they are allowed back home, that's very good. Those who have reported back should even encourage others to go back, and it's our prayer that the people who are on the other side also encourage these people and those who are remaining at borderline to go back and do development work in their country.
The decision by the M23 rebels to open borders and clear the stranded refugees is voluntary. However, the burden now is for Uganda on how to manage those refugees who don't want to return to Congo, but maintaining to stay in the streets and on verandas of buildings in Kisoro. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kisoro.
Now, referral hospital is overwhelmed with the burden of inpatients, especially those brought in by police and well-wishers, such as accident victims. It is from this point that Habitat for Humanity is partnering with the hospital to provide shelter for the persons and also relieve the health facility. Malago is also calling upon Good Samaritans to help avert the situation.
Such vulnerable groups. As you know, we get so many accident victims. Some of them are brought here as unknowns. When they are picked by police on the road and they end up as knowns, they get head injuries, their memory is erased completely, they cannot remember where they come from, and we treat them, and the time of discharge comes and we are stuck with them, we can't know where to take them. So such people are also many, and I think it's also timely to start thinking about those ones. We get so many destitutes who end up making Mulago their home. Actually, when you pass on the tents around Mulago, you get so many, but as a hospital, there is nowhere you can start chasing them away. But they deserve a living, they are human beings.
These are patients, as I speak now, for example, in neurosurgery department, we have about 5. And some of them stay in the hospital for as long as 6 months when we are trying to trace for the relatives. Sometimes we put them out in the media for people to trace them, and we don't get any response. And then the result is that we have treated these patients, they have recovered, they are due for discharge, but they have nowhere to go, and they become part of us. And because they have lost memory, majority of them have lost memory, they cannot trace where they came from.
Of the hospital is now beginning to move out to understand the living conditions of the patients that we serve. This is a problem that is beyond Habitat for Humanity. It's a problem that is even beyond the government. So we appeal for collective responsibility, collective effort. And that's why we are today announcing the fundraising campaign for 40 homes. And many of these homes, again, the leadership of the hospital, you please feel free to engage with us. There might be some, and those are going to benefit from the 40 homes that we are going to be fundraising.
All right, now government has appointed a committee to ascertain the availability of land to host Bunyoro Public University in the efforts to operationalize the education facility. Government has set aside 2 billion shillings to start the construction of this university.
The Prime Minister, Robin Anabanja, has appointed a committee chaired by Jacob Rubanga, the Member of Parliament for Chibanda South in Chiriandongo District, to start the operationalization of Bunyoro Public University. The university, once completed, will accommodate the growing number of students seeking for higher and university education in the country. Prime Minister Robin Anabanja clarified on the rumours and confirmed that the long-awaited university was included in the budget 2022-2023.
The long-awaited takeover of the Gulu University Hoima branch is now due, and we are all in agreement. That is for us as a team that has come, the Kingdom and Gulu University management.
If the committee that will be appointed to work as a task force decides to merge the two, it is still possible. It is to our benefit that the university will grow bigger.
Rubanga said that the 2 billion which government has set aside to kickstart the university will be used to facilitate the steering committee, which is beginning on the 1st of July this year. The legislator explains that Bunyoro University could not be allocated an independent budget since it is not yet in existence, but clarified that the university money was put under Ministry of Education transfers to other government units.
Of course, during the reading of the budget, it couldn't come out as a standalone item because the university is not yet an independent entity. It is until Parliament or government issues a statutory instrument to establish it, that's when it shall be coded, and therefore it can be provided with funds as an independent item in the national budget.
Bunyoro Kingdom First Deputy Prime Minister Motiti Nyendohwa said the Kingdom had offered 75 acres of land at Butera for the establishment of the university. The Omukama has also offered the Kingdom buildings to accommodate the proposed Bunyoro University.
For us as the Kingdom, whether the university is in the Kaiso, whether the university is in Karuma, whether the university is in Wasiko, it will be in Bunyoro.
Hoima District Woman Member of Parliament Harriet Businge said they are currently working with different stakeholders to mobilize for the university's establishment. Businge cautioned some politicians in the district to stop misleading the locals about government programs.
Even if he gave us the university, if we don't provide the land, then he will not be there. So it has something to do with our mobilizing our communities to ensure that whenever a project comes, they are ready to embrace it fully, to own it, and to...
Dr. Joseph Ruyonga, the MP Hoima West Division, said the university has so many benefits that will come along with it.
Not fight it, and let us not make it political. This is not political. It's what comes to be for whoever will be, and it will be for Bunyoro and even beyond Bunyoro. Even other people can come from UK, from America to come and study at the Bunyoro University.
Currently, Bunyoro is the only region in Uganda without a fully fledged university, and this was slowly putting the region at risk of creating a less educated society.
And Kampala University insists on not graduating 300 Sudanese students from Juba-based Kampala College. This was revealed by the university's Vice-Chancellor, Professor Badru Katerega, at a press briefing where where he unveiled this year's graduation. The Sudanese students at the Juba Best Kampala College demonstrated at the Mutundwe premises after receiving the news that they will not graduate this year.
Recently, Sudanese students at the Juba Best Kampala College affiliated to Kampala University peacefully demonstrated at Kampala University Mutundwe premises after learning that they won't graduate this year.
We are here today demonstrating for our rights as South Sudanese. We have been studying in Juba under Kampala University.
Follow all the procedure for the payment that is needed from them.
I spent 4 years paying my school fees, and reaching here, there is no point of graduation as we talk.
We have been chased out of the main campus like beggars, that we do not know you from Juba.
Speaking to the academic registrar at the Kampala College in Juba, Johnny Eluga tasked the administrators at Kampala University to come up with a formal statement.
Students who are here, whom they have refused to graduate, are communicating to their relatives in Juba, South Sudan, that these Ugandans have refused to graduate us.
Should I just succumb to the machinations of these thieves? That is serious. And we make it political. Yes, it is true. They have tried to make it political.
The Vice Chancellor of Kampala University, Professor Balilu Katerega, asserts that they suspended their operation and relationship with the Kampala College in Sudan after being bothered with the registration process.
Suspended the institution. Abiri Musatu. January 2017. Sudan, Jebali, we never got the license to operate, okay? Although we had fulfilled all what it takes.
At the scene of protest last week, the administrators at Kampala College in Juba and the 300 students who remain stranded threatened to sue Kampala University.
Ekyabwana ajja n'atwalayo ng'empapula ze zaabademu ebituli. Mumanyi consequences zigenda okudda wano.
Wana abatabatikidde nga alternative eriwo tujja kgenda mu kkooti.
Professor Katerega also unveiled the program for the 19th graduation ceremony to take place this Thursday.
Finalize with all the necessary preparations for our 19th graduation ceremony, slated for Thursday, 23rd June 2022.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC News.
And health actors have been called upon to emphasize general checkups to whomsoever visits health centers in order to avoid the spread of non-communicable diseases. This was reached during an engagement between the Parliamentary Committee on Non-Communicable Diseases and members of the National Communicable Diseases Association. Let's take a look.
Prevention and control activities are also integrated into the routine health care services. We look at the situation where at every health center, every health facility, there is screening for non-communicable diseases. We envision a country where every Ugandan will know their NCD status, maybe every after 6 months or every year. Person should be able to know their blood pressure, their body mass index, and then they should be able to know their blood sugar. You should be able to know the cancer status, especially for women, cervical cancer and breast cancer. You should also be screened for prostate cancer for men who are aged 45 and above. So we envision a country or a healthcare system that's providing screening at all levels, that all Ugandans actually take up the
forum on non-communicable diseases. And these diseases include diabetes. In this advocacy to make sure that the members of parliament are speaking the same language about the diseases which are called non-communicable diseases. We have now known that in Uganda, 30% of the deaths are attributable to non-communicable diseases. Therefore, it is important for members of parliament to know about them, so that they can sensitize the masses, so that they can increase the budget in parliament, so that they can also make sure that most of the parliamentarians are on the same page as far as NCDs are concerned.
fats, and trans fats are the bad fat which is oftentimes found in foods which are sold on streets and some of the foods which are sold in supermarkets. We understand there is a lot of data or a lot of evidence to suggest that these bad fats, which we call trans fats, have been associated with an increase in cardiovascular diseases, and these include strokes and heart attacks.
And with that, we'll take a quick break. When we return, business news. This is Lunchtime News.
Have waka, you passed the ice through me about my waka. Now come and see for yourself, see my waka that I got with Bunyoro. Look at you waka, see my waka that I got with Bunyoro.
Show them waka with MTN Bunyoro. Simply deposit 20K or more on your mobile money for a chance to win 3 Toyota Succeeds and money to 2,000 lucky winners every week. We're giving away 24 cars and over 2 billion shillings of mobile money.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals, out-of-this-world celebrations.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Go TV. Love it.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Water gives life. Water is life. But not all water is created equal. Refresh yourself with the new quality Nirvana packaged drinking water. Your passion to go further in life.
Visit a shop near you and grab a 250 ml at 500 shillings, 500 ml at 1,000 shillings, 1.5 liters at 2,000 shillings, or the 20-liter jumbo bottle at 19,000 shillings. Nirvana is a product of Crown Beverages Limited, the makers of Pepsi products.
The Kavaka Birthday Run 2022 is back on Sunday, 3rd July 2022 at Lubiri Mengo. This year, the run will be physical and will be flagged off by Sabasajja Kabaka at 7 a.m. Come out in large numbers once again to Lubiri Mengo. Run for a cause to fight and end HIV by 2030. Buy your ticket today at 15,000 Uganda shillings from Airtel shops at Tobani Center, New Taxi Park, ShopRite Building, Benchwanka Street, Majestic Brands Office at Bulan Musange Mengo. You can also buy your ticket using Airtel Money. Dial *185*5#. Select Payments, select Kabaka Run, and follow the prompts to complete the payment. Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is brought to you by UNAID, CBS, BBS, and Airtel, the smartphone network.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You see, I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just say for register.
What's going on here? He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet, and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185*10, *10#, and now you are on. No waiting.
Huh? This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
Not mixing your business money with your Kameza money. Now, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
We can't tolerate sexual harassment.
Sexual harassment is unacceptable in our school. Because a good school equals a better life. Raising voices.
Bore chewaka na MTN Momo Nyabo. Echora kore chonka.
Amazina ganje ni banyeta Kansime Clofas. Nimbela lugazika kwa Mambara. Ninye muhanguzi we motoka ya MTN Momo Nyabo waka. Elizoba nye nahangura motoka. Ninsima MTN Munonga. Ninsima abantu bonna abezumbiro mu kintu ekyo kubasa kufisyaho ebirabo bya MTN. Mwebale Munonga, muhangare, mubereho.
Oreche waka na MTN Momo Nyabo. Echora kore chonka. Kawe mitware ebiri no kweyongerayo. Mobile money yawe. Obase kuba mw'abanyamugisha barayehangurire Toyota Succeed 3 na sente. Esiturabe ntwabahanguza barokike 12 buru wiki. Nituza kwaye motoka abiri nina na sente za mobile money eziri kurenga ubuhumbi bubiri.
Welcome back. This is Business News. Over 100,000 women and youth are to benefit from the e-commerce training as a move to reduce poverty and inequalities among the two groups. Addressing a press conference this morning in Kamocha, executive sponsor of Tawaza Digital Varieties Limited, Winfred Nandaula, says providing low-income women with effective and affordable financial tools to save and borrow money is critical to both women's empowerment and poverty reduction. Winfred adds that it's through digital financial inclusion programs that Tawaza Initiative, Tawaza Initiative Limited will contribute towards the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals 2030, especially Goals 1, 3, and 7, among others.
Because if you have non-financial products that are helping people put them together, you provide leadership training also for the youth in business, in the informal and rural sector. These are people who have micro capital. They work with capital less than $100 in a month, in a week, but they have very high turnovers. These are people who cook food, people who provide breakfast for certain communities in the city, and these are people who are not registered. Their businesses are not formally registered, but they do business on a daily basis. They provide employment to so many people, but they are down there. These are the salons that are down there mushrooming, and when you say target, we are registering them as our members so that we can identify them and work with them better, understanding what their needs are, because the training is not just financial literacy, but we do have tailored training to understand the needs and the result that they want to get for each business woman and youth who is doing business. Because membership, we have been having members across the country. And before we were just doing financial inclusion, but now we are including them into digital financial services, access to digital financial services. It is a process getting these people to understand what is required for them to be able to qualify to get financial services. We are looking at a target of at least 100,000 women and youth by the end of this year. So far we are in about 2,000, it's very low. But the rollout has to be careful because you don't want to promise so much and the liquidity is not yet in. But we are looking out for partners who are going to be funding this particular project so that we can be able to serve as many people as we can.
And Absa Bank, in partnership with Bakaima Real Estate, has introduced land purchase loans to customers intended to accelerate land and home ownership. Jalo from Absa adds that the mortgage facility will offer up to 500 million Uganda shillings in financing, which will enable a payment period of up to 10 years. Karim Kawesa, the managing director of Bakaima Real Estate Agents, points out that the loans will enable customers to access affordable financing for the purchase of land in Greater Kampala and select cities across the country.
Customers buy land in installments. We realize that so many customers don't have money, lump sum, to buy property. So we are able to partner with the banks to help customers be able to buy land in installments over a longer period of time. This helps them save well and be able to manage their finances very well. At the same time, acquire land and build houses very cheaply and in installments. I encourage people to always look for genuine companies where they should buy land, and to be specific companies, not individuals. Because for an individual, some of them don't have addresses. You just find someone say he's selling, and they are able to take away your little savings. But
Uganda is a very beautiful country, and secondly, there is a lot of construction and development going on, and as a result, the mortgage sector is really being part and parcel of the economy, and trying to sort the housing deficit of 2.4 million units. And I think this is the number that probably we are looking at also. I'm saying, okay, there is housing, beautiful housing around in Kampala and in major cities across, but at the same time there is a deficit of housing. And from an Absa perspective, we said to ourselves, how do we bring that possibility to life? How do we participate in that? How do we alleviate? How do we respond to that housing deficit and make sure that people are able to acquire a home? But generally, I can tell you for free, Kampala, Uganda, beautiful country. If you look at the mortgage business really coming up, and we are, as Absa, we are part and parcel of that journey.
And in sports, the national women football team, the Crested Cranes, will fly out this Tuesday for a training camp in Morocco. The 10 days training camp in Morocco is in line with the Africa Cup of Nations tournament due on 2nd July in the country. Uganda is in Group A alongside hosts Morocco. Burkina Faso and Senegal will play the first game on 3rd July. Head coach George William Lotalo believes the final squad will put up a performance.
Hi. Yes. Up.
We've just completed our training session. The training has been good. The spirit in which the players have been doing all of the activities is really impressing, and we hope to have a good team. Maybe in the few days to come is when we shall raise the squad that we shall travel with. But for those who will not have traveled with the team, and even for those who will have traveled with the team. They are all national team players. Let's keep them in good areas. We pray for them. We hope to raise a strong team that will play when we reach there. In our group, whichever team is there has already qualified, and they are all good teams. But for us, we are focused. We've prepared ourselves. We have to deliver according to our expectations. Thank you.
And we wish them all the best. And that does it for Lunchtime News. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Have yourselves a lovely afternoon.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello, this is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Congratulations, congratulations.